It's been a long time since a high-quality trailer of Pokkén Tournament has been released. Most of the game's information has come out of live streams, which, while nice to see the game in action, doesn't always give us the best clue to how the game will look. Fortunately, an overview trailer for Pokkén has been released in Japan, and though it repeats a lot of information we already knew, the old analysis machine was able to spot a few interesting new tidbits. Of course, be sure to watch our previous analysis, as we covered most of the new information in there. Speaking of the previous analysis, one of the things we pointed out was the presence of a leveling system. The problem was that we didn't really see how it worked. Well, thanks to this new trailer, we finally get to see it in action. We're still not sure if how you perform directly affects the amount of experience earned, but we do get a better look at what a level does. It essentially gives you a skill point for one of the 4 available stats. Even better is that we get a small description on what each stat actually does. The first one increases your Pokemon's attack power when fighting in 2D, while the next in line increases the Pokemon's attack when fighting in 3D. Going down, the following stat simply increases the Pokemon's defense, and the last stat increases the power and duration of the Pokemon's burst mode. So a player's style is definitely going to come into effect when it comes to choosing which stats to increase. Of course, players in Japan will definitely need a BANA Passport in order to save this data and get the most out of the game. But what's really interesting about this passport is that it seems to hold more data than just the player's Pokemon levels and win-loss ratio. A screen appears after leveling up that seems to indicate that Frogadier and Eevee have been unlocked as supports, at least according to our rough translation. This could mean that the arcade machine will not have every possible support available in its most basic form. Players will actually have to unlock them and, presumably, store what they've unlocked on their BANA Passport. This could make the passport even more important, if only so players have full access to everything Pokkén offers. Finally, we get our first look at what appears to be the training mode. It seems to guide players through each move, informing them exactly how to perform it. Complete one and move on to the next. It's impossible to say exactly how in-depth the training will go. It could just stick to the basics or potentially walk new players through some of the advanced combos. But what has us the most interested is the new trainer portrait in the top right. While at first we thought this could be a brand new avatar to choose in the game, this portrait only ever appears in training mode. So is it possible that this is the new rival character for your trainer? Could he act as a training partner starting out before becoming the final challenge in arcade mode? Of course, we can't be sure either way, but it is a curiosity. And that's about it as far as new information on Pokkén Tournament. However, thanks to the better clarity of the footage, as well as a brand new stage, we thought we'd point out some more of the background Pokemon that can be spotted. First up is the new underwater stage. Thanks to the playable demo units that went out across Japan, we know this place is called Blue Dome. It serves as a battle arena in the middle of some sunken ruins. While it seems like a strange place to hold a tournament, it does help spotlight some water Pokemon. First up is this School of Love Disc swimming by, but it's not the only group of Pokemon that can be seen. Occasionally, a School of Finian can be seen swimming the other way. In amongst a sunken ship in the reef, Tentacruel, Corsola, Tentacool, and Relicanth can all be seen. But we think there might be one more Pokemon hanging around outside. This part here seems to match perfectly with Wailord's underside. And then, of course, there's Lugia. But there's a catch with it. It's not the real Lugia. Not once does it move from that position in any of the footage, so it's probably just a statue. However, there are 2 Pokemon watching the fight from inside the dome, Slowbro and Slowking. But that's all we could spot for now in this footage. We say for now because the clarity helped us find more Pokemon in the other 2 stages. In Cromtown, you can see Burmy hanging from a nearby tree, a Pachirisu sitting near the base of that tree, a Rapidash in the stables, and a Geodude on the opposite side of the stream. Meanwhile, Foss Volcano has a Carbink hovering near the crystals, while Slugma and Macargo can be seen further inside the fiery cave. Okay, we're almost done here, but there is one last thing to point out. Something many of you have been telling us ever since the last analysis. Pikachu's victory animation here is almost an exact replica of Jin's in the Tekken series. It's an amusing little callback for the series mascot, and we hope that we someday get to try this game for ourselves. As of yet, Pokkén Tournament is still only scheduled for a Japanese arcade release this summer. Hopefully this incredibly different Pokemon game will come out worldwide someday. Until then, let us know if we missed anything in the comments. If you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at GameXplain to keep up with everything we do. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming.